But look, I'm sure that Republicans will get us back in play. They'll stop embarrassing us internationally. We're getting into the home stretch, and obviously it's time with the Republican establishment and everybody else to get this show back on the road, get this train back on the rails, and get serious, which is why for the past several days we've been talking about Ted Cruz's sex life, which in a really nauseating campaign is absolutely the most nauseating thing that has come up in this whole cycle. It's absolutely terrifying. It's absolutely grotesque. And let's play two pieces of sound that have arisen from that. First, on CNN, a Boston Herald supporting columnist for Donald Trump, Adriana Cohen, is on opposite of Amanda Carpenter, who was a former communications director for Ted Cruz. She is someone who Ted Cruz has been accused of having an affair with. If you need to pause this broadcast now to go excuse yourself, go to the bathroom, you feel some vomit in your mouth, take your time.
Let's just say this was the National Enquirer.
This was the National Enquirer. This is and there's very good reason to believe that this probably comes from around the Trump campaign. We have no idea, but this has been dominating the cycle. So this Globe columnist is on with Amanda Carpenter, and she personalizes this conversation in only the way Boston Herald columnist / Donald Trump supporter can do. Let's have a listen.
Oh, absolutely. I think we should move on. Where we should move to is the National Enquirer story that has reported that Ted Cruz has allegedly had affairs with at least 5 mistresses, including you've been named, Amanda.
I'm sorry. I don't think that's moving on at all, Adriana.
Pause it. That's the host saying this is Kate Bolduan trying to keep the show going here. Go ahead.
No, well, I'd like to know, if we're going to call Donald Trump's character into question, I would like Ted Cruz to issue a statement whether or not the National Enquirer story is true, that he has had affairs with many women, including you were named, Amanda. Will you denounce this story, or will you confirm it?
All right, let me step in really quick. Amanda, I will give you a second to, let me just be very clear. It will come as no surprise to our viewers. CNN has no reporting on what you're talking about coming from the National Enquirer. Amanda, go ahead.
I mean, what's out there is tabloid trash. If someone wants to comment on it, they can talk to my lawyer. It is categorically false. You should be ashamed for spreading this kind of smut. Donald Trump supporters should be held to account for it. And I will not be intimidated.
Smut.
I will continue to make my thoughts known about Donald Trump, and I am not backing down.
Hey, guys, let me just do this, because I've spent now 2 shows talking about this back and forth. You're right. Let me do this. I'm going to be much more comfortable talking about a National Enquirer report when CNN has done some reporting on that topic. Let's do this.
So just to be clear, this is not in any way undermining America's image abroad. And as Donald Trump himself has said, he hopes this story isn't true, but the National Enquirer has been correct in the past, including with the John Edwards story. And he, quote unquote, hopes that Lion Ted Cruz is telling the truth about not having affairs.
Hi, I'm Sam Seder, and this is an Ann Coulter doll.
You should not be immigrating here. Yeah. Stay in your country and hate us.
For smart progressive talk and a little bit of this and even a little bit of that.
Mission accomplished.
Subscribe to our podcast, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and like us on Facebook to get some of our best video clips.